Alright, what is going on, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So this video is going to be a little weird for me. When I had first finished scripting this video, it was the day before they actually announced Generation 9. And if you've been following the channel for a while, you would know that that's a very consistent problem around these parts. So I got that script ready, Generation 9 got announced, and I didn't know what would apply from this script, so I was thinking I would just scrap it. But then after a month of scripting, recording, and just talking in general in depth about everything that we know about Generation 9, which is very little by the way, I ended up coming across this script again. And then I kind of realized, I've talked about things that I expect, things that I would like to see coming from Pokemon Legends, and a bunch of other different things regarding Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. However, I've never really talked in depth about exactly what I want specifically. This script pretty much has exactly that. However, there are some things here that probably very obviously may not happen during this generation of Pokemon based on what we've seen already, but that's not to say that some of these things actually may not come to fruition. Now, it's not exactly like I've gone back and checked, but I think I have talked about a couple of these things individually in a couple of previous videos during the last period of downtime when we were waiting on the remakes and Legends. If they happen, cool. If they don't, hey, whatever. Like I said, the script itself could be applied, but it can also be kind of dated. So here's what we're gonna do with this video. I'm going to mention each of my individual wishes, explain why I want that wish, and if I believe it's possible for Generation 9 still. Sound good to you? Cause it sounds good to me. Now before we get started with this one, I do feel like I should probably mention something because there's a good chance you have missed it or you will miss it because it's at the end of a completely separate video, but I'm gonna mention it here anyway. I set up an ultimatum for you guys. If you guys can help me get to 6,000 subscribers, I will definitely 100% release the Discord for you guys to hop in. There we'll be hosting some challenge nights, we'll probably be having some kind of movie nights, game nights, and we'll definitely be doing giveaways because I really want to give back to you guys to say thank you for helping me so much with these last 2 years on the channel. I wanted to give a reasonable goal because we're actually not too far off from 6,000 as we are, so I just wanted to give myself a little bit of time to really set the Discord up, maybe learn how to actually utilize it and how I want things to run, pick out the mods and everything like that, and then we'll be good to go. But for the time being, we'll just save it for another day. So anyway, getting back on topic, Generation 9 is quite literally right around the corner. Obviously, I haven't seen any of the leaks regarding Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, so I know very little about Generation 9 right now. However, the tidbit that does inspire me to actually go through with this script is the fact that it's already been confirmed by Pokemon themselves that Scarlet and Violet is open world. Before Pokemon Legends, that was something that was completely unheard of. However though, if they're making strides like that for the games now, who's to say that they can't make strides in other areas regarding the games? And so that's where my greedy, unreasonable ass comes in. Here are some things that I previously wished for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Now I know that some of you are going to jump the gun when I say this, but hear me out for a second when I do. The first thing that I wrote down here was actually voice acting. Now before somebody jumps out of their chairs and punches a wall or something like that because of this opinion, let me tell you why I'm actually down to stick with it. Now before anything else, just please understand that I know damn well that voice acting is not something that needs to be in every video game. It's not crucial. For a long time now, there have been plenty of video game series that have worked without it. Although it has been a long time since I've seen an RPG without voice acting, now that I think about it. Now what gets to me is the fact that they've animated these characters like we should be able to hear something. And yet, we have not heard a peep out of any of these characters since Gen 5. And I've been wondering for a long time, why not? Now, like I said earlier, not all video games have to have some kind of voice acting in it. However, for a big RPG like Pokemon, I think it would be very helpful to the game to actually have them speak every once in a while. Think back to some of the most emotional scenes from any of the Pokemon games that you've ever played. Like when Barry lost that battle against Mars at Lake Acuity, or when Z was finally reunited with his Flabébé during Pokemon X and Y. Or most recently, I'm gonna give you guys a quick spoiler warning really quick, so go ahead and skip like 10 seconds ahead. cool when Volo lost his mind trying to beat you down in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now imagine all of these scenes with voice acting involved. Barry breaking down, wanting to become stronger so that he can help you. The relief and joy from Z from being reunited with his long-lost Pokemon. The anger and frustration of insert bad guy here from not being able to beat you. If done correctly, moments like these could have gone down as some of the strongest moments in Pokemon history. And not to say that there aren't plenty of moments like that in the Pokemon series, but they're a little bogged down when it's just text. I've gotta say, it is kinda hard to take things seriously sometimes when it just looks like characters are chewing almonds with their mouths wide open. Ever since moving to a higher class of 3D with the Pokemon series, I feel like what we have now is kinda ridiculous. Text was perfectly fine when we were still on the DS, when everything was, you know, very small, very pixelated, and there wasn't really as much happening on the screen, but these characters are fully animated now, just based on the trailer alone, probably the most so in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The Pokemon series has been stuck in this way for a very long time now, and because of that, I feel that it somewhat prevents us from connecting with a lot of these characters and their stories. For example, at the end of Pokemon Sword and Shield, when Leon was trying to save us, telling us to get back and get the hell away from Eternatus. In the game, it happened, it was whatever, but in Pokemon Evolutions, when that moment happened, the worry that he had for his Charizard when Eternatus broke out of that Pokeball was very well done. Hell, throughout the episode alone, you could see how much turmoil he was in from his first real loss from anything ever. I feel like it's voice acting like that that allows moments like that, or for characters like him to really shine in certain situations. If the animated shorts like Pokemon Generations or Evolutions have told us anything, it's the fact that these characters have a lot more depth than we've been led to believe. And if they had the voice to back up their development, I think we'd have a much stronger set of characters and a stronger series on our hands. Now, do I believe that voice acting is still very possible for Generation 9? Yeah, I do. Making a stride like adding open world to a Pokemon game, that opens up so many different possibilities. And I know that we've mentioned it a lot here, but if Zelda can do it, so can Pokemon. Even if it is in a much shorter span of time. Now, the next thing that I wrote down here kind of goes hand in hand with the voice acting, but actual cutscenes would really help. Now, Pokemon has actually already come a long way when it comes to cutscenes. We've seen a lot from Generation 6 all the way up until Legends. We have gotten some really neat looking cutscenes throughout the Pokemon series. However, when I say this, I'm talking some real cutscenes. For example, what if you were about to run around a corner and then a cutscene started where your rival was already having a battle with somebody from the evil team? The player character can hear the rival throwing out a command for their starter Pokemon. You peer around the corner and you watch as their starter gets washed by whatever they're fighting. Honestly, I think that would be a phenomenal way to introduce the enemy team. It's little scenes like that that can make so much more of an impact with the right amount of animation and the right amount of voice acting. We can only imagine so many of these heavy battles too, you know? I feel like the anime shorts really do them justice, but I don't see why the game can't sometimes. Oh, and for the record, player character shouldn't talk. I'm talking about every other NPC, not the player character. But anyhow, do I see larger scale and more high quality cutscenes coming to the newer Pokemon games? Absolutely. This series has already been progressing pretty damn nicely when it comes to cutscenes, and now that we have an open world setting, it's probably gonna look a lot better than even Pokemon Legends, hopefully. If the series took a back step here in any way, I would be genuinely shocked. Now, the next thing that I wrote down here was choices with impact. Now, this one I definitely remember talking in depth about in an entirely separate video, so if you want a general idea of what I'm thinking about, I'm pretty sure that video still very much applies. But the short version of it is, I want to be able to make a choice and have it actually affect me or the game in some way, shape, or form. At this point, I'm not even talking about something grand scale like being good or evil or anything like that. But the Pokemon series has this really bad habit of giving us choices for certain situations, and it doesn't affect anything. Like, Not even the line of dialogue that comes afterwards half the time. And it's like, what's even the point of programming in these options if I could just look away from the screen, mash A, and not give a rat's ass? Pokemon has come a very long way in allowing us to really feel like we're in the shoes of our character. Sure, the options can be limited when it comes to customization, however, being allowed to change the skin color alone is a much better start than what we left off with in Gen 5. However, I always say, the best way to really put the person in the shoes of their character is to really allow them to feel like they're having their own original adventure. I think having true choices that affect the story or how characters develop, like your rival for example, would really help invest us. It would be such a nice change of pace to have something that finally differentiates our playthrough from somebody else's in some way besides just having a different team, which already barely happens as is in most of these other games. Now again, I'm not expecting anything anywhere near grand scale. I just would like the little things that you do give us to at least matter a little bit. That's all. Now, do I expect this to happen? Absolutely not. Pokemon as a series is already making some pretty big damn steps as it is, and taking a step in that direction, I don't know if they really have the time to make something like that work the way that we want it to. So, whatever, I guess better to not really affect anything at all as opposed to breaking something or making it worse. Now this one we've talked about a multitude of times for the series, but not in particular for Generation 9. And I feel a video specifically for this coming on soon, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But, much like a lot of you, I am wishing for a difficulty option or an optional experience share. One part of me already knows for a fact that they're never going to get rid of the EXP share as they've implemented it for the last couple of years. It's here to stay, there's really not much we can do about it. However, if it is here to stay, then I feel like you would just make a lot of people happy. And I've said this a million times now. If you just let them turn it off. I've talked about this so many times already, and I know for a fact that I'm going to continue talking about it on this Pokemon career of mine here, so let's just keep it short. Let people turn it off. It's that easy. On another note, I would actually be genuinely pleased if we got some kind of difficulty options this time around. For the most part, Pokemon has always had the same very general difficulty incline throughout all of its games. However though, it seems that every new installment we get, the games seem to get easier. They've gotten very handholdy to the point where we are not even thinking half the time that we are playing. Like, guys, I completely understand what you're trying to do by introducing newer people into the series and not scaring them away with some kind of crazy difficulty or anything like that, but y'all need to start remembering who your core audience is here. Like, yeah, we like the competitive aspect and everything like that, but we enjoy the main game too. Simply put, all I'm asking is to feel like I actually deserved the win. And no, I'm not just saying make an extremely hard NPC and put it at the end of the game. No, make all of the NPCs gradually smarter as we progress. That's all I ask. But like I said earlier, just give us difficulty options right from the get-go, so that if you pick hard, you're going in expecting hard. Or you're picking normal or easy if you want a more casual, laid-back experience with it. I know too much about Pokemon, so it feels like every playthrough is easy playthrough for me. All I'm asking is that they consider the little guy like me every now and again. Now, do I think that a difficulty change could happen for Generation 9? It's really hard to say, but I do think that there's a possibility there. I don't know if they're actually going to go through with it in this game particularly because they're trying so many new things and they already don't want to scare people away, so they'll probably keep it nice and tame, kind of like they did in Legends Arceus for the most part, but I can see them doing a little something like they did at the end of Legends as well, but maybe sprinkle that out throughout the entirety of the game. But in reality, it's probably unlikely. They'll keep it tame just like they always have. Now, 2 of the last 3 things that I wrote down here, I've actually already pretty much made very in-depth videos about, so I can link those somewhere, maybe on the screen, I don't know, but I'm gonna keep those short. The first thing that I asked for was a new gimmick or battle style, which I have already talked about in depth in the potential gimmicks video a while back. I want a new gimmick or battle style. It's pretty cut and dry, and if you want more detail on that, it's right in that video. I'll put it up there for you. Do I think that this is gonna happen? Absolutely. These games cannot survive without gimmicks anymore, apparently. This is probably one of the few permanent staples for the Pokemon series that's gonna continue for a very long time because it's effective. The next thing that I asked for here was better Pokemon access versus better animation for the Pokemon. And for anybody that doesn't know what that means, all I'm asking for is either give us better Pokemon access this upcoming game, or give us better animations for the little that you do add. If I'm remembering this correctly, I am pretty sure I've talked in depth about this possibility in the Pokédex situation video for Scarlet and Violet, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Now, do I think that they're gonna go through with one or the other? I feel like they're probably gonna lean towards better animations, hopefully, because Pokemon Access has been very weird with all of the Switch games so far. Will their choice be justified in that? I have no idea, but Pokemon Legends animations didn't exactly look the worst. It was just the graphics, and so far those are wildly improved in Scarlet and Violet, so it's kind of hard to say. And now, the last thing that I mentioned here is a more organized online, and I have literally talked in depth about that, I'm just realizing, in the online capabilities video for Gen 9, so this one we've already gone over in depth. Essentially, I just want easier access to friends, and if you're gonna give us codes, at least give us lobbies so that we have more to do together. That's all I'm asking. Now, will they actually go through with making this experience better? Probably not. I actually highly doubt that one. They've already pretty much never focused on online capabilities in the Pokemon games, and I highly doubt that they're gonna start with their first generational mainline title that's open world. Now, it feels really weird to say, but we've actually pretty much cleared out all of my wishes here. We're kind of in a weird spot as Pokemon fans where we've had low standards for a very long time, and they got lowered even more after Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and then it got raised like crazy after Pokemon Legends. So I'm really hoping for something to really humble us, like sit there somewhere in the middle, or something just a little bit better than Pokemon Legends so that we can tell that we're making actual progress with this series. Now, we've definitely already seen that Generation 9 absolutely has potential to surpass Legends. It just has to give us something. Something. I'm hoping at least one of my wishes come true, but I don't know. I usually have my hopes dashed when I wish too hard, so I'll keep it a little reasonable. I'll just wait, see what happens, but that's pretty much it for me with that. Dude, open up. Dude, open up. Okay, I'm gonna dig through your walls, bro. I'm digging through your walls right now, bro. I can't believe you would put walls up around your house. How dare you? How dare you try to keep me out like that? Anyway, take this mic really quick, and why don't you go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are on some of my wishes here. Do you think that I'm being unreasonable? Do you think that I'm well within reason to wish for a lot of these things here? Are any of your wishes similar? Let me know everything in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always down there with you guys. But with that, I'm gonna skedaddle on out of here. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this. And with that, I'm gonna get the hell up out. Thanks again, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor, taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!